And they're off, racing 2 miles the journey for the Betfair Imperial Cup. And in the early firing line, Knickerbockerglory on the inside in the blue sleeves, the grey Monvielle. Fine casting, Gavega is racing keenly in the firing line as well, with Royal Margot towards the near side in grey and white starred sleeves. Just behind the leaders, Punctuation with Man at Work on the inside, Metier in an orange jacket as they jump the first flight. And all safely over. Iceo made a slight mistake at the first flight and is 3 or 4 from the end in these early stages. And it's Knickerbockerglory, Monvielle, Gavega and Royal Margot disputing the lead over flight number 2 from Metier. Then Western Zephyr on the outside, Fine Casting and Man at Work. Then Punctuation in the light blue colours. Zoffany Bay is locked away on the inside in purple sleeves from Lightly Squeeze. And then behind those, Iceo, Kellehen's on the outside. Playful Saint is held up towards the rear of the field. Also, Hardy du Soy and J-Lo is last of all as they race up the hill. Knickerbockerglory and Gavega first and second as they run into this right-hand turn. Followed by Monvielle, the grey, around the inside of Royal Margot. And then Man at Work in a noseband, the inside of Fine Casting and the orange-jacketed Metier. Next is Western Zephyr from Zoffany Bay and Punctuation as they run down towards the back straight. Lightly Squeeze on the outside, Hardy du Soy is close up with Playful Saint and Iceo and Kellehen. And J-Lo remains last of all as the field turns into the back straight, the 16-strong field. Knickerbockerglory and Bridget Andrews from Gavega and Jamie Moore. Followed by Monvielle on the inside of Royal Margot. These have been in the leading group throughout as they jump flight number 3. Followed by Fine Casting and Metier. Behind those then is Western Zephyr. And then Iceo towards the outside of Punctuation as they continue over the next flight of hurdles. Those in the midfield include Playful Saint. And just behind Playful Saint, Hardy du Soy. Towards the rear, J-Lo is slightly detached. Kellehen is towards the back as well, with Zoffany Bay, who's lost a fairly good early position as they run across the chase course now and heading on towards the end of the back straight. And it's Knickerbockerglory from Gavega, Royal Margot on the outside, the grey Monvielle, then Fine Casting and Metier. Iceo has made good progress, followed by Kellehen towards the outside, and then inside those Zoffany Bay in amongst them from Western Zephyr, Punctuation towards the inside, and then Man at Work and Playful Saint, and then behind those Lightly Squeeze as they now prepare to swing out of the back. J-Lo has just passed a couple, Hardy du Soy and Man at Work towards the rear of the field, so swinging right-handed. And Knickerbockerglory from Gavega and Royal Margot. These are the front trio. Monvielle driving round the inside, followed by Metier and Fine Casting and Punctuation. Iceo behind those. Playful Saint is on the inside then of Zoffany Bay. A wide open race as they reach the top of the home straight. Knickerbockerglory, Royal Margot coming under pressure. Monvielle, Metier is out wide. Then Punctuation, Playful Saint and Iceo trying to make up ground, followed by Kellehen. And then behind those is Western Zephyr, Hardy du Soy, but it's Knickerbockerglory that continues to lead the way from Monvielle in second place. And then on the far side, Fine Casting is staying on well from Iceo over the second last. Knickerbockerglory has led all the way so far, 4 or 5 lengths clear of Fine Casting. And then the grey Monvielle, and now Iceo is picking up well for Harry Cobden as they race on towards the final flight. And Iceo joins Knickerbockerglory, and Iceo takes it up at the final flight. He knocked it halfway down. Iceo, Knickerbockerglory, Fine Casting, Monvielle, Playful Saint stays on behind those, but up towards the line, Iceo kicks 3 lengths clear of Knickerbockerglory, and it's Iceo who will win the Betfair Imperial Cup. Knickerbockerglory in second, Playful Saint probably never nearer in third from Fine Casting. Monvielle was back in 5th.
Chris, what a wonderful afternoon here at one of your favourite venues, a place that you got so much affinity
Yes,
with.
Absolutely. Thank you. I mean, the last time I did a double, it was 13 years ago. It was Red Harbour winning the EBF, a horse called Chico Polos winning the Novice that day. So it's been 13 years. It's they don't happen very often, do they?
Fantastic. And in these 2 races as well. The question that we need to answer is next week.
And look, Harry jumped off. He said that's a hard race. I think we'd probably rather go to Ayr if that helps punters. Let's see. But I think you've got to listen to the jockey. That was a tough race out there today, wasn't it?
It was hard. And do you think he's a horse that's got a bit more than we've seen because of his natural exuberance early. He must have taken a bit out of himself, and yet he still was able to win the race.
Yes, I think he does, but remember, he's very lightly raced because we had this injury problem, which Clifford Baker discovered, and credit to him. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here. But, you know, this is only his third or fourth, fifth race under rules. So, you know, I think he'd probably miss next week, and let's find a later target amongst the spring festivals.
Is he a horse that Paul Nicholls has always given you a good feeling about, a good vibe about?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he'll be a super novice chasing next year, you know, over a trip. You know, 2 mile forward, 3 miles, I would have thought. So we look forward to that.
Fantastic. And Crambo in the previous race.
Wonderful.
Yeah, he's a horse with Fergal O'Brien. He's only got one blip on an otherwise blemish-free record. How high do you think he could fly?
Well, look, he definitely wants a trip, doesn't he? But what was impressive today was we didn't expect to make it. He was quite keen at the start. Then I think Connors felt out front was the place to be. But the way he stayed on after being headed was fantastic. Great attitude, great engine, super horse.
Big day for you, family here as well.
Absolutely, everyone. It's grandchildren and everything, Nick.
You could have a bunch of winners at Cheltenham next week. It wouldn't matter with a day like this under your belt.
Absolutely, and Cheltenham's tough. So you know, getting a place at Cheltenham with 3 runners is tough, isn't it?
Might you do that with Greaneteen?
I hope so, but it's a tough race, you know, isn't it? But I think he's been prepared for it. I think the Newbury race was a prep race. Hopefully the ground doesn't get too soft. We'll see. But if it's decent, good to soft ground, I think he's got a good chance of running into place.
Well done today. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks a lot, Nick.
Cheers.
Subscribe to Racing TV's YouTube channel now to watch more great races like this.